The second competition, which is a much smaller in terms of total value, is and also shorter term, funding shorter term projects, is the Agri-Food Innovation Grant Fund for Feasibility Studies. Now this is something that's jointly funded by the TSP and DEFRA, and it's targeted at stimulating growth and innovation within the micro and SME sector within the whole of the agri-food chain. It's a broader scope than the CR&D competition. It takes in primary production and pre-primary production elements as well. It's funded at 100% of project cost, with up to 20 grants of maximum of £25,000 available. They are administered or awarded under what's known as de minimis regulations, and Callum again will go into that in a little bit more detail, which has certain restrictions and certain conditions that need to be satisfied in terms of eligibility for funding. But for most businesses and most people here, it shouldn't be a problem. And we're typically looking at feasibility studies of 3 to 6 months in duration. And in terms of, again, where can you, what fits within scope, what can you consider for these? Anything pretty much that sits within that diagram. Now we know that with a 3 to 6 month program of £25,000, you're not going to do a great deal around developing genomic selection programs, but there's plenty of other stuff, interesting technologies, decision support systems, etc., around that whole space that would fall in the scope of this feasibility study. So again, a brief list, including but not limited to, so process efficiency right through the whole supply chain, resource use efficiency, waste reduction, and anything that will contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions to the sector. So as we said before, eligibility is limited to UK registered micro or SME businesses, and again, the definition of an SME is just fairly clearly laid down. I think it's 250 employees or less. Not aimed at start-up businesses as such, because we need some confidence that the business is sufficiently well established to undertake these feasibility studies and towards the development for wider commercial application. What we cannot fund, and we probably won't apply to anybody in the room, but a farm-based solution purely for the benefit of that farm business, because there are a number of issues there that around the de minimis regulations and the conflict with payment of single farm payments to farm businesses already, because de minimis has a limit of £165,000 of state aid over a 3-year period as an upper threshold. So provided you haven't received more than that in the past 3 years, you're likely to be eligible to apply for this competition. And the projects can involve up to one other business partner. We would expect the majority of these to be single company applications, but there's an opportunity for collaboration with up to one other partner within them. So in terms of the application process for this, whereas the collaborative R&D call is a 2-stage form, which some of you may already have seen from previous calls, this is a slightly different, quirkier approach. Looking at a 2-minute video pitch, a YouTube-type video to sort of pique the assessor's interest, with a short written application to support that, containing some more of the detail about what it is you're proposing to do. You need within that to be able to declare your eligibility for de minimis funding, and Callum will go into that in a little bit more detail in a moment. And if successful within that competition, there will be an award event, the dates of which Callum will reveal, but we will, in terms of compliance and monitoring of these, of the progress of these awards, we'll need at least a final report for a 3-month project and an interim report for a 6-month project, and the grant will be paid retrospectively, either in 2 stages or a single stage, depending on the length.